All right, and welcome back to another exciting episode of PlanetGenX. I'm Sean. This is Brian. Say
Hey,
hello,
everybody.
Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Welcome, everyone. We're so glad you joined us. We have an exciting show for you today. We're going to pick up where we left off because we had some technical difficulties last week. And so before we kick things off, I want to ask you guys to please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think of what we're doing, because we don't know what anybody thinks, except my wife. I know what she thinks. That's about it. I know what Brian thinks. So tell us something. Tell us anything. Tell me you love me. Tell me you hate me. I don't care.
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me. Well, yeah, so like I said, we did have some testicle difficulties last week. We recorded a whole show where it seemed like I was talking to myself.
Right.
Brian had no audio, which is probably my fuck up, but there it is. It's one of those things. You live and learn, and today we checked before we started, and everything was cool. So, anywho, there was a lot of stuff that we talked about, man, that I hate that didn't make it. I mean, you know, we talked about re-recording the episode, and I'm like, you know, we're gonna have a lot to do with the Ahsoka reacts videos and whatnot. And
yeah,
probably just best if we just put it off, wait till Friday, do all this over.
Well, I mean, now, like, it's all old hat, though, right?
Well, in a way, yeah, but I mean, like, I just want to mention a couple things. There wasn't nothing major, but there was a couple things on there that needed mention, because one was the big blow up between LTT and Gamersnexus.
Right.
I just can't not go on record and say that LTT fucked up big time, and then fucked up again bigger time.
Right. I think most people agree with that.
Yeah. Honestly, I haven't looked at anything in the last couple days. Has anything more transpired? Have you heard anything about it?
I haven't heard anything, but I haven't really kept my ear to the ground. As far as I know, the big shitstorm came when the former employee started posting.
Yeah, see, I did see like that. Like, that's all I know. Like that happened, but I didn't go and see actually what. Do you know any details?
Not really. There was apparently support from other people who had previously worked there, and it just seems like more of the same. You know, these are obvious problems, and everybody's going to address it. The best you're going to get is like something that's not an apology, that's not anything, right? It's going to be like, well, you know.
Yeah, he's giving the old Canadian apology.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Well, yeah, I mean, he'll probably weather it, man, but this is going to hurt.
It's kind of hard to be that kind of a sweetheart, though, right? Because that's what he was. He was like the tech sweetheart.
Yeah, he looks like your next door neighbor, like really sweet, playful guy who's just kind of klutzy and shit. But behind the scenes, he's like your typical capitalist, man. It's like, I want you all to work as hard as possible for as little as money as possible.
So where we live in.
Yep. So, and I mean, like, you know, look at how big he is and how much they've grown over the last few years. I mean,
the problem is
control.
People operate like that, thinking about things like that, like what they'll attain, never looking at the fallout, what comes after, and that's what he's about to experience. I don't think he will weather it personally.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not too. I mean, it's been a minute, but not too long after the "Trust Me, Bro" stuff. Yeah. So it's the same thing. I mean, like he's got this arrogance about him. You know, it's just like, trust me, bro.
I don't know about you. I've never met an arrogant nerd. Right?
Right. The most pedantic of arrogant nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, what can you say? I mean, I don't fault Gamersnexus at all. I mean, I get that this is kind of like a little response to some shit talking by LTT. But at the same time, they said, "Listen, we were already going to do this. We were just sitting on it, kind of as a friend. We were going to let it go, and I mean not let it go, but we were going to do this eventually.
Yeah.
It's just happening now because they want to fucking be assholes. They want to act like their shit doesn't stink. Well, okay, here's a fucking big hot fucking video that shows your
Steaming pile.
Yeah, it's a big steaming pile, man. So I don't know. I hope it makes him reevaluate himself. That's all. If he reevaluates himself and learns from it, then I will think of it as a good thing.
We all have character defects, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes you get that. You get a wake up call to where you can have a chance to change, but a lot of times we don't. Because those character defects tell us that it's something other than what it is. Right.
Yeah. He's thinking it's everybody else's fault, not his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up because we talked a little bit, quite a length about it, actually. I think, from what I remember.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to pile on like everybody else in this, content creator world has.
Yeah.
You're not really big into wrestling, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yesterday, day before, one or the
other. The wrestler known as Bray Wyatt has passed away. Mm-hmm. No known cause of death. I do know that he was apparently about to return from back to wrestling from battling a lifelong disease or something like that. I don't know. He's apparently had something going on only his close family knew about. So there it is. I mean, I think he was 38 years old. Wasn't very old.
Yeah.
He's part of the, his name was, God, what was his, I can't remember his name now. Well, it's probably, I don't know if Bray's his real name. His family is the Rotunda, oh, fuck. It's two wrestling families, two different ones, like the daughter or something from one, and Wyndham, the Wyndham Rotunda, so Barry Wyndham, Mike Rotunda family, those guys. So he's got a brother that's in the business too, not nearly as successful. His last name was Bo Dallas, his brother's name.
I do have something slightly tangential I'll speak on once you're finished with this.
Oh, no, that's really all I had to say, man. I mean, not really. I'll say this. Honestly, I was, and I don't know who says you can't speak ill of the dead. I'm not really speaking ill of him. I just wasn't crazy about his work there. He was getting on my nerves. I was ready to see him go. Not for, I don't want to see him sick and shit and die. I just want to see him not on.
You don't want to see him.
I just don't want to see him.
Right?
Just go away. How can I, as Jim Cornette always says, how can I love you if you won't go away or some shit? How can I love you
if you're always there?
No, how can I love you if you'll never leave?
If you never
I'm saying it all wrong. I don't even think I'm saying it remotely right. Here it is. How can I miss you if you won't go, or if you'll never leave or something like that? Yeah. How can I miss you if you never leave? That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a wrestling thing. You get tired of seeing a wrestler after a while, but these guys get injured sometimes, or they just go away to do some other stuff. So a lot of times you'll notice after a while they'll be gone, but when they come back, it's like boom, oh my God, he's back! I can't believe it. So yeah,
Nick Foley was a prime example of that, right?
Yeah, so that's where Jim gets that from.
I will say on my little thing I want to mention here, everybody complains about Dwayne Johnson in movies because he always plays the same fucking guy, right? Well, everybody says he's playing him, right? Dwayne Johnson. I think he's playing The Rock, right? I think he learned that one character. I don't think The Rock was really based on him, right?
No.
But he just expanded that one character to fit all of his Hollywood roles.
Right, yeah. I mean, he just, in his mind, maybe he thinks, well, I mean, okay, so that TV show he has where he's was he running for president or something like that? Anyway, it's his TV show about his life. It's really good. I forget the name of it. They've had like 2 or 3 seasons already, but it's really damn good show.
Yeah.
And he's very liberal with historical events, like wrestling events, as far as what actually happened or who was together. The biggest thing is like all the people that they say are together, like these big stars we knew from the 80s, weren't all together at the same time in some of these shots. But I mean, he is just playing himself in a way, but he is acting on this. So I find it good. I mean, he's very funny, I think. I don't hate his movies. There's quite a few I've seen that I don't know, dude. So when I go to see an action movie, I'm not looking for fucking Oscar-winning acting.
Right.
So I don't give a fuck. I don't analyze it to that nth degree. The dude's an action star.
Right.
What would we have done if we'd have put this level of scrutiny on Arnold back in the day?
I was just thinking that. I was like, Arnold didn't get this. Neither did Sly, right? Well, actually, Sly did get a little.
Yeah, Sly, grew a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess in some ways even Arnold did, like doing Twins or something like that. I mean, that was kind of a breakout for him.
Yeah.
But then Kindergarten Cop and shit like that. So it got different for him. But yeah, I mean, but we didn't sit there and go, oh my God, I can't not believe that Arnold Schwarzenegger is not a master thespian.
Right. No, it's just like everybody says that he plays like Dwayne Johnson in movies. I think he's playing The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Because, yeah, I mean, really, that makes more sense if you think about it, for sure. So I think you've hit the nail on the head. I was sitting there trying to wonder, like, how did we get on that? I'm with you. By the way, dude, you mentioned something the other day about, I think we were talking about Ahsoka. Yeah, so on that video that y'all never saw, we were talking about how we were going to do Ahsoka reaction videos again, which we just recorded the first one. And you mentioned how you think that Thrawn in certain long shots looks just like Elon Musk. And even though I had seen it, because once I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this shot. And it just didn't, I just didn't put two and two together. But yeah, I mean, like, bro, it's uncalled for how much he looks like Elon Musk painted blue with red eyes. It's funny as fuck, no doubt.
I agree.
Jesus, I didn't write shit down this week, did I? Well, I thought I had a ton of shit from last week that we could talk about, and I must have erased it all.
Well, I think LTT took up a lot of our talking points.
It did. It really did. And I just wanted to touch on the fact that,
right?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the fact that we had an opinion about it.
Yeah.
Because I do watch Gamersnexus quite a bit, and I just mainly just catch the WAN show if I'm watching any kind of Linus shit. I hadn't really seen any other videos from like the little fat dude and with the long hair. I hadn't seen anything from him recently. Anywho, I got some news from our buddy Jay today. So did you, from the from our Discord over here. I didn't even know about this. I had no clue. So I haven't even like gone and watched anything or anything. So
same boat.
Apparently some random guy got the most sought after game in quite a long time and leaked like 45 minutes of footage online about it, and then apparently sold legit copies to people
before release.
I forget what kind of count it was. It says right here. So
we don't know that they were legit, right? There's nothing really come out of it, but we know that they have found like material. That is supposedly the stolen property part of his charges.
Right. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit. This is from GameSpot. This is what Jay sent to us. According to the official website for the Shelby County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office, which is funny, we have a Shelby County where we live.
I'm sure there's one in Texas.
Also, an anecdote there.
And
It was the same place that they took Hannibal Lecter to in the courthouse. That he was all in that box cage in the middle, at the top floor. Yeah. Anyway, Shelby County. Harris Harris was arrested on August 24, just a few days after leaking the Starfield footage. First reported by Kotaku, the site confirms Harris facing one felony charge for possession of stolen property worth $2,500 to $10,000, a misdemeanor charge for possession of stolen property worth $1,000 or less, and I love this last one, and one misdemeanor charge for possession of marijuana. I thought I fucking laughed my ass off when I saw this because the first thing that popped in my head was like, this is like so typical. Like, throw everything at them you can, just so something sticks, right?
It's like, oh, you got paraphernalia when we come into your house.
Right. So, come on, give the guy a break.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Well, I mean, that's just another problem with the justice system, right? You know, they do always try to add everything on.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you're in an encounter with an agent of the law, right?
Yeah.
They're going to throw the book at you every time because, you know, that's how it works.
That is. So, they say it's worth noting the booking records do not mention Starfield by name. So they're saying, you know, it's not a drastic leap. One thing viewers of the leak immediately noticed was the fact that Harris seemingly did not know how to play the game, appearing to be entirely unfamiliar with standard RPG mechanics.
Right.
This is typical of the time we live in. Who the fuck cares? I mean, like, these people are judging this guy's playing ability. He's not posting it. I mean, he wants the clout of y'all knowing he's just got Starfield.
Right. He's getting his 15 minutes. It doesn't matter, you know, whether or not he can play.
Yeah. Yeah, so he had a Mercari account, and that's where he was selling them on. But anyway, so yeah, I'm sure he'll just get a slap on the wrist and some probation, and likely have to pay a lot of money because that's pretty much all they're looking for. If you got money, get you a lawyer, buddy. Let him.
I imagine he doesn't have the money, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. If he's
coming up, if they tacked on him a possession charge, and he's you know, hawking these games out of like a storage unit, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, he's not going to have the money, right? You just want to make an example of him. He's the guy that's like, you know, don't mess with our intellectual property or else this will happen to you.
Right. Yeah, they need to make you. They've got to make an example. I want to know how the dude got it. Like, I want to know how he got it and how much he was selling his copies for, because that game, if you're gonna do that, and this is typical of why would you commit crimes for such low amount of money? If you're gonna sell those games, man, you might as well go balls out.
Yeah.
I mean, at least $1,000 a copy, right? Somebody would buy it if they. I mean,
somebody would. But it's all about the price point, though, right? So obviously, in my mind, this was a feat of social engineering on his part, right? Yeah. Maybe a little bit of luck as well.
Oh, dude, it had to be luck. I mean, somehow, some way, he got a copy of it, and I don't know, because I don't know how these things are locked down. I've never been a game developer. I've never been inside one of their facilities, and
we actually have a possible viewer who might know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
our friend in the AR world.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, I would have to think nowadays everything's just packaged and sent down the pipe. Like, there are very few physical copies floating around of anything, right. Especially with the size of these games. You know, I don't know, but I guess it's possible, and he doesn't seem smart enough, just given what we know. I don't think he hacked anything to get in, but it could have been very well sitting on a server. Like, dude, I can think of instances like back in the day, an episode of Doctor Who getting pulled early because it was sitting on a server out in the open somewhere. And, you know, how the fuck people find this shit, I have no idea. But, like, somebody found it, sitting out there, and said, ooh, I'm going to post this on the internet. You know, it was like some of the black and white shots, didn't even have all the FX shots in it, but, you know, people wanted to see it. Like, ooh, I get to see Doctor Who early, you know. it never is. I always like that with, especially with big time things like Starfield has got icon status
Yeah.
right now. I hope it ain't a big floating turd.
We'll see.
We will, because I'm gonna
the
try to
Fed
play
they
it.
could go either way, right?
Yeah, it better be really good because I'm already going to be distracted by my flight sim stuff and Cyberpunk.
Right.
Because that's getting priority over Starfield.
That's pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it should be, right? Was it the
Maybe?
6th of September or was it later?
I was wanting to say it was later, like 12th or something, but
That does sound familiar, the 12th.
first week or two of next month, it looks like.
Yeah. Golly gee, guy, what are we going to talk about now? How about a kitten update, man? Kittens
Had a
turned
kitten
12
update.
weeks old yesterday. And I can finally put flea shit on them.
Nice.
Yay! I haven't done it yet, so we got to get past the ADHD blockers. But once we do that, yeah, get them all taken care of. And bro, these fucking little dudes are wound up, just going 90 to nothing, and having a good power nap for a couple hours, and then going 90 to nothing again.
Like that.
Then eating, then power napping, then going 90 to nothing again, 90 to nothing again, power napping. You know, I mean, it's just over and over again. And I mean, it's like, dude, I swear sometimes I feel like they're hanging from the ceiling. They're all over the place. Like little Tasmanian devils.
Yeah.
Moo still fucking will run up my leg. Boo will do it sometimes too, which I really would prefer he didn't because he's a lot heavier than her.
Yeah.
And dude, I am really going to be bummed out if she decides to keep this up as an adult. It is no fun. My arms and legs, you wouldn't believe, my legs especially now, because I mean, I'm not handling them as feeding kittens as much anymore, but I mean, I still get the odd scratch. But my legs, bro, and I mean, I wear fucking Duluth Trading Company fucking fire hose pants, man.
Right.
So I don't know what I'd do if I just was wearing jeans or something like that, which I have. Like I wore jeans around them the other day. It's just brutal.
Hey man, cats are one of the few pets that can, make it out in nature, right?
Yeah, man, they're ready made. You throw them out in nature for a couple days, they'll go feral. It won't take long.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days tops, and then you probably never get them back as far as like back to normal. Once they taste that wild, dude, man, they taste that wild, and then it's on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, something kicks in, man. Some fucking really deep down, recessed notion of what it was like to be a giant saber-toothed cat running around killing shit. You got anything you want to talk about?
No, I don't really have much of anything. I'm kind of bummed out that I'm not really feeling Ahsoka.
Yeah, guys, we like I said, we did a reaction. You can check that reaction video for episodes 1 and 2 out now. As soon as by the time you see this, it will be out. Brian just wasn't feeling it. I'm not. I like most of it so far. Second episode was kind of weak. As a whole, both of them together, it's fine. It works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, is this how it's going to be? But listen, maybe they're all not going to be winners, but we did have Andor, and it was damn good. And we have had good Mandalorian, and we have had some good Boba Fett. Not all.
Right.
If we can just get rid of Kathleen Kennedy, man, maybe there's light. Maybe there's hope. I don't know. Our last best hope. You want to expand on that depression about it?
No, I mean, like we talked about it. Her fingerprints were on it for me, like not from the very first scene, but the very second scene, right?
Yeah.
And I explained to this in the other video. Basically, there's so much here, but you know what they're going to do. You know, they're going to tell this story and not really like enjoy the freedom of this character, of this area, of the events going on at this point in time, right? And I don't know. I just kind of got a feeling that I know what we're going to get, and I feel like it could have been much more.
Yeah. It could definitely have been much more. But I mean, it's early. I hate to start picking apart stuff, just beating it to death before we get at least 4 episodes in. Then
Big ups to Rosario. I think she's doing a great job of bringing the character to life.
Yes, no doubt.
Mary Elizabeth also doing a great job.
David Tennant doing a great job.
Love him returning to this. He is probably one of the best droid voices I've heard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I probably should have brought that up in the actual video we were just doing, but
yeah, we did. We just totally brushed over that fact.
I don't know. Yeah. Which leads me into what I was thinking. Like these podcasts, like I knew we had. So first of all, coming off the last one, which we didn't get out, was a bummer. I didn't fucking freak out about it too much, and I wasn't gonna stress over it, man. It just is what it is. It happens, and let's just move on.
Yeah.
This one obviously lacks the content, but I knew that we were gonna have to do a lot of recording today, and we got 1 week off with the Strange New Worlds reactions. So I think in a way, my mind is fighting, wanting to do all of it the same day, and so the content here is suffering, where it's not on the reaction side. So I apologize. I will try and be more. And again, I tried to fall back on hopefully bringing up some of the stuff we talked about last week, but all I remembered was the LTT stuff. And we did talk about Ahsoka coming up in the reaction videos, and that was pointless to talk about that again, which we literally just did.
Well, we can talk about the first presidential mugshot.
Bro. Oh, which leads me into something else. Yeah, I'm glad you led me into that, because I did hit the Twitter 500 mark, the X 500 mark, and I've already started applying for that subscription thing. $3 is what I'm going to charge if people feel so inclined. And I'm back, baby. Like, at least for right now, it feels like it, because starting yesterday, man, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was the rush of Donald Trump's mugshot, but bro, let me just say, they have fucked up. They have fucked up trying to put this man under the jail with these different the fourth indictment now. They did exactly what a lot of people said was going to happen, and I think after yesterday and just what I saw based on reactions on Twitter and stuff, is not good for him. I mean, he's probably going. He's got to listen. If there was a election that was on the up and up, he'd probably win hands down. He probably won't win hands down because there's going to be some major shenanigans somehow. I don't know what, but something's gonna happen. They will not allow this man to get in office. Whatever they have to do, they'll shoot a nuke off to Russia and start Third World War. Stop that. I guarantee you.
I don't know where people get this popularity vote thing. I know he's wildly popular with Republicans and people who don't necessarily, identify with traditional Republicans, people in office right now and all that. But like real world numbers, nobody likes them, right?
You would think that, but then you watch the news and see all the black people of Georgia out in the streets just going, "Yeah, Mr. Trump, yeah." So I don't know. Not typical Republican,
That
voters.
Sounds like a lot of astroturfing to me, which is typical Republican.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, man. I don't know. You never know. I mean, what do you believe?
Well, personally, I believe.
All I know is real world people, as far as you can tell. At least the people I interact with, I know are real. I don't know. There was a heavy vibe going yesterday, man. A real heavy vibe going. And it just, I don't know. that whole starting yesterday, and this was before even I saw about his mugshot. I told one person because she said today I was all over Twitter, just like the old times. Because ever since I got suspended, I just wasn't having it, man. I was like, I wasn't sure, But I plowed through, got my 500 people, and I'm a lot. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I've hit that 500, and it took me a way less time. But at the same time, dude, my comedy planets are aligning, and I don't feel like they have been. And so, yeah, so like I was hitting it, just, oh, this is a good one. This is a good one-liner. This is good. I mean, it's just left and right, spin them out. And one girl comes back, she goes, "Man, you were spicy today. Is everything okay?" I'm like, everything couldn't be better. And I'm like feeling it right now, man. Like, this is the times you go on stage and start working your stuff, man. I'm feeling it right now. And you got to ride it while it lasts, man, because it can go for a while or it can disappear tomorrow.
Right.
I might be
once it disappears, you never know when it'll be back, right?
Yeah, yeah. You never know, man. So, you got to ride that train. Well, I've had enough. I'm ready to go edit this.
It doesn't sound like you're ready.
Video. Yeah. Well, I'm hungry, dude. Like,
I am too.
I'm so hungry. So, I think we're just gonna call it. I will say this: if once I am, hopefully, if I'm approved for these subscription things, I've got to start thinking about the content I produce for Twitter, X. And yeah. So start looking out.
Speaking of X, I just want to drop this. So I think we have a different opinion of Elon, and to me, it's glaring in that it seems like you believe that he believes the whole light of human consciousness mind that he deals with everybody, right? But to me, I see the son of mine owners on a mind that nobody's mined before, right? That's just how it comes off. And I think there's a lot of that. I think like there is no altruism. He's trying to make a buck, dude. He wants the first company store on Mars.
I think he is seeing a vision through. No matter, and however he can see that through legally, he's doing it.
I think it's all pageantry.
That's fine. You can have that opinion, man. That's what makes the world go around. You don't have to like everybody I like, or I like everybody you like. So, I think he's generally an okay guy. I think he's having a good time. I think he has most best interests of the world at heart when all is said and done. He wants to get to Mars. That's his goal. While he's here, he still wants to help in the ways he can. There's no reason to make Tesla if you're not trying to better the environment.
Yes, there is. He did the market research for it, and that's why he decided to buy the company.
Dude, no. You don't understand, dude. There is no money in making a car like that. You have no idea getting into the car business, what it's like, and the manufacturing going into that. There was no guarantee that Tesla was going to do well at all.
No, so there was no guarantee
to say that's like, well. I don't know. Never mind. You're going to get me upset.
I'm sorry. I see a business bro. I know you see an altruist. And
no, I don't see an altruist. I see a businessman who still is an everyday guy who just happened to fucking get stupid rich and can see like these dreams that he's had accomplished. That's what I see. He wasn't born rich either. He had a rich dad that he never saw the money from at all. He and his mom were off doing their own thing and never had a silver spoon in his mouth. All this money he made on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you got to say, man.
I got nothing.
You got it. You're holding it back. Say it.
It's a point that never comes across when I try to talk to people about it, and so it just makes me sound like a giant asshole trying to explain it.
Say it.
Because it seems like I'm calling you stupid when I try to explain it, and I don't want to do that. I'm tired of people thinking I'm calling them stupid.
Well, I mean, you know, I am on the outs with another friend who's called him an idiot, and it's when people say stuff like that that pisses me off, because there's one thing he's not. He can be many things. I think you've heard me say this before. He's not an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I will defend things like that, statements made like that, because any fucking person with two eyes can see he's not a goddamn idiot. I mean, why would you say stuff like that? So I'm on the outs with
still a human, and he is aging, right? That is one thing you can say.
He's aging?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
So we get stupider as we age. We get less good at everything as we age, right? Our mind, our body, everything fails.
All right, man. You still haven't said what you were going to say.
So like I said, I don't have the words, man. I wish I did. If I would, I would share. Otherwise,
I mean, what you seem to think you have this pearl of wisdom that makes, because you've said it. You've talked to others and you come off like you're condescending to them. So, what pearl of wisdom do you think you have that nobody else does? That's what I'm asking.
The human experience is a fairy tale. I don't know how else to put it. You've had a bunch of thoughts put into your head by the world around you.
Oh, no shit, dude.
You think they're your thoughts.
Because I think certain things about Elon Musk means that, okay.
Again, you're missing the point, and this is why I don't bring it up.
I'm not missing the point, because what I want to say is that I'm a very good judge of character. Very damn good judge of character. I am never fucking wrong about a person's character. Ever.
Okay.
So you might be right about some things, and maybe he's way more capitalistic than I either let on or believe. I
don't know, man. Every time I try to discuss this subject, people don't understand what I'm trying to say, and that's why I don't like to talk about it.
Everything that's given to us right now has been wholly planned for decades. Everything. People that, like, I tell my wife, enjoy your blissful ignorance, because the stuff I know that you don't know, you really wouldn't want to know it. And some of it's hearsay. Some of it, I think, makes perfect sense.
Right. And I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here.
But dude, we don't know how. There's no way to know.
How they work.
You're told every day what the news is.
Right. Yeah.
What do you know? What's real and what's not? You have no idea unless you actually walk outside and see something happen with your own eyes. That's the only thing you know, maybe, that's really actually happening. For all we know, it's just
assuming you're not being gaslit, right?
Yeah. There is way more wool being pulled over the world's eyes than people realize. I am around constant conspiracy theories, which, unfortunately, for the naysayers of conspiracy theorists, have been proven way too right recently. And I guess what Brian is telling y'all is, it's not theories, man. There's conspiracies all the time going on. That's the thing. There are conspiracies going on everywhere right now. When I'm talking about people in their house, I mean, I know you're not just talking about that, but I'm saying, like, this whole thing, that everything that you think, oh, that's a conspiracy theory, it's probably fucking happening. I mean, like, really. There's a lot of weird ones out there, but I'm surprised the ones that people I still hear about, like the birds aren't real thing. Like, this guy's got on.
I love birds aren't real, man.
Talked about how he made this big joke about birds aren't real, And people still to this minute think that that's a real thing.
Right.
The guy was having a laugh. He gets on Howard Stern's show, a very prominent show, and says that it's a joke. It's not true. He plays it like it's true, but it ain't real. Then you still have people that believe it's real, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
You got to open your mind. You got to fucking try and pay attention as best you can. There is a wave of bullshit, a river of bullshit out there, and you have got to fucking navigate this. It's treacherous as fuck. And the truth, there's all kinds of truth out there right in front of your face. And they are doing everything they can to distract us with this, that, and whatever.
Who is they? The Illuminati?
Oh, man. I don't know who they are because they could be any one of them. Okay. Yeah, I just say they, man, because
I didn't know if you had a specific name.
I don't know because it's either the Illuminati, but it could be all. If there are a bunch of different groups for real, it could be all of them for all we know. Honestly, I think the WEF, and it probably encompasses a lot of people from these groups. I think the WEF is one of the worst offenders, and the reason I say the worst is because they're probably just the Illuminati, right? With the facade for the world to see.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. And it drives me crazy seeing what they're up to, dude. Right in front of our fucking faces every day. And so many people are just like, I'm just going to go on about my life. Oh, the WEF? Oh, we're going to start eating bugs soon. Oh, that's great. If y'all pay attention to the shit these people are talking about, you would be begging our government, anybody, world governments to stop listening to these people. They're insane.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Like the same people have their fingers in those pies as well, right?
Yeah. It's taken a long time, but they finally got the key people in the key places they needed to get them, and now we're seeing everything play out. BlackRock, Vanguard, that's your financial wing from the deep state. If you don't have a word for they, that's when you hear deep state, that's they. Okay, just so y'all know, the uninitiated. This is the stuff I want to talk about for real. Like, this is what we should have been talking about for a long time. Not just this, but that other stuff too. But I've never let out like this. This is something I've always wanted to talk about. This is the stuff I will be talking about on Twitter, by the way. So I never knew if it was a good idea to mix that here or not. Right now, I don't care. We didn't have much content, so it's just interesting to talk about because these are things. I mean, like, dude, I totally see a ton of crazy shit going on. Any of you that still believe we vote for these people are out of your goddamn minds. I don't know when it stopped being real, if it ever fucking was in our lifetime anyway. But
I think it was Carter was the last time that we saw
probably
a naturally elected president.
It would have been somewhere after the 60s, yeah. I mean, probably before the maybe the 50s is when it started going to hell. Like when they started really making their moves.
Well, I mean, it really felt to me like Reagan was the initiator. Reagan was kind of like the signal flare to the one percenters that, were government officials and policy are for sale, right?
Well, look at what happened. I mean, how can you do the things like bring down the Berlin Wall and end the Cold War if you're not the government? And I'm not talking about our government. I'm talking about the deep state. If you're not because they're the ones controlling all this shit. They let us do all this. I made a post today, kind of off subject, but I've always made these comments like Joe Biden and all these world leaders are sucking the souls of the innocents, like literally like feeding off children somehow. Then it occurred to me what the fuck it was, dude. Stem cells. It's stem cells, bro. Why are stem cells not illegal in America? They've been proven to do miracles to people. Okay, I mean, there is some weird variant of it that is either available now or going to be available, but it's not what you need. Not the shit you can go to Panama and Colombia and shit and get, But listen to me. These world leaders, every one of them, are on that shit. I guarantee. And I've been saying it the whole time, and it never really occurred to me. I mean, like, I literally could think of myself, like, seeing them just because I feel like a lot of them are ritualistic shit. You know, like, for real. I think there's some of them that are, not all of them, but I think they go through the motions of some of that the ritualistic stuff. And, like, I could picture some of them, like, actually drinking blood, you know, from young virgin babies or some shit like that. I mean, who knows what these motherfuckers are getting up to? But you start to see the pieces come together. All of a sudden, there's this massive pedophile wave. We're hearing about pedophile this, pedophile that. It's like world leaders are certainly into pedophiles, it seems, you know?
Well, you know how that works, right? Like, you don't base control over giving the people what they want. You base it off of fear.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know, you got to fear these people because they come for your kids, right? That's why the whole pedophile thing is a thing, because anybody can sound that horn and get anybody's fucking attention, right?
Yeah. And the things that are going on now, man. I mean, like, you know, fires in Maui. We give look at the money we give Ukraine, dude, and it's insulting what they're doing over there in Hawaii right now, man. Insulting. Yeah. Where are all the kids at? Why aren't the family members asking for where are all the kids? You know, why aren't they concerned that all the kids are dead? Property grabs are happening.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, it is Hawaii.
Well, it's where they're going to go.
Plenty of rich people there looking to.
It's where they're going to end up, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So there's always there's a place up in Antarctica, that bridge near that bridge. Mm-hmm. That's one of the places that they're supposedly going. I forget what it's called. You're going to call me a conspiracy theorist, people. Fine, if you want to label me that. I don't consider myself a conspiracy theorist. I do like to keep up with what they're doing. And yes, the fact that I believe a lot of what they're saying probably makes me one. But I've not traditionally been a conspiracy theorist. This has been the last couple of years I just started looking into shit and being amazed at some of the stuff I found. And it's not what I read, it's the connections I make. I'm really good at fucking connecting the dots, seeing the big picture. That's my thing. I'm observant. I like to observe, watch people, see everything that's going on around me. And whereas you all, it seems, the populace seems to forget newsworthy items a couple weeks after they're gone and done. You know, they're gone. Yeah, they're out of sight, out of mind.
I don't know why we haven't been talking about this extinction level event shit we've been living through, right?
Right.
CME, the changing of the weather pattern, and you know, we're talking about fucking Ahsoka and presidential mugshot and shit.
I'm telling you, man. I mean, there is some really fucked up shit going on now more than ever. The shit you see being bombarded with us on Twitter, like, get us upset about Budweiser, to get us upset about transsexuals, to get us upset about pedophiles. Some of that's normalization. They want us to normalize to that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's just plain old distraction. Keep our minds off the big picture. When you see something major happen that actually really happens, like the Ohio thing, the train derailment, Biden wouldn't fucking touch that place for nothing, man. Just like he, it must have been all they could do to get him over to Hawaii. That's all I know. But what distracted us from the train derailment? Oh, the fucking Chinese balloon that comes over our fucking country and nobody bothers to shoot down until it's already got all the data it needs and send it off to the Chinese, who, by the way, happen to be paying the fucking entire Biden family.
Okay.
Right? I mean, what the
fuck? I don't know, man. It's fucking
China. This is the shit that's going to come out on the laptop bullshit. If they ever decide that they'll grow a fucking pair, or I don't know. All right, I feel like it's too late.
Here. You and I don't know what is on that laptop, right? We've been told what is on that laptop.
No, but yeah, I mean.
So let's just clear the air there.
Yeah, but
as far as we know, yes, Hunter is a piece of shit that was like, yeah, my dad's this guy, I can call him in and do favors and whatever. We don't know the truth of whatever.
Yeah, by what is said, it seems like this dude, like his father and him have done some shit. just by what we've been told. Let me put it that way in the media, and that's a media that takes up for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
When have y'all ever known a society that would tolerate a president turning his back every time he does a press conference and not taking fucking questions? I mean, we would have never tolerated that, but we let this old motherfucker do that shit all the time. Oh, no comment, or just turn around and walk away. Man, fuck that. Y'all got to get angry about this shit, man. I mean, honestly. Don't get angry about the wrong thing, though. Get angry about the right thing. These people...
How about we get angry about the fact that we have one person that tells us, you know, what happens on a daily basis?
Yeah.
How about that?
Well...
How about we get pissed off about the fact that every time there's an economic downturn, people die, shit changes for all of us. But the main thing that happens is people with money, get more property, get more services, get more shit. It's almost like it's planned, right?
Because it is. Yeah. It's all been predetermined, man. This shit going on with Ukraine and Russia. Dude, so you think Putin was probably... So two things. Either Putin's always been on the outside looking in from they, or Putin was on the inside with they and took his ball and went home. And NATO is part of they. So... they're making an example out of him. They're trying to fucking... Okay,
I need to stop right here and address something that I've had such an issue with, this pro-Russian thing. That's where all of this stuff, this new era that we're living in, where people can just say whatever and, it's taken as truth. Russia played a big part in that. It was all these people under the Koch brothers and other people like that, right, based in Russia, putting out all this disinformation. And, now we're living in the fallout of it, and it's been verified.
Yeah.
They are trying to feed us pro-Putin stuff now, right? And that's just... I don't think anybody who's going to tell you what to think has it right? So that's why I have this big question mark over my head as to, Joe's involvement with Hunter's businesses, or, Ukraine being the seat of power because it's got so much, grain. I honestly think I don't know. That's generally my first approach to everything, is that I don't know. And you know what that does? That frees me up to understand the situation a whole lot more than going into it saying, well, I know that this person did this, or this person's like
and
this.
That's what I was saying about connecting the dots, because it's interesting why we're so tied up with Ukraine, when if everybody would have remembered, which many people, there's some people out there to remember, when Trump was in office, they fucking were talking about, there was that phone call he made, check out Joe, I think he's up to something. There was, Hunter was on that board in the Ukraine, that, I don't know, fuel or whatever.
Charisma.
He was on that board. So you have that connection going on too. You got the Chinese connection. That doesn't even matter with the whole, I don't guess it matters. It probably does matter with the Ukraine thing, but if you can't make that leap that he was doing something there, and now all of a sudden they're our proxy for beating up on a man. And let me say this, because this is how you have to think about things. We've been told for a long time that the Soviet Union's bad, and this is the stuff that comes out of it, and this leader was bad, Gorbachev was bad, and up until a point where he wasn't, and then Putin's the guy. Sometimes he's, you don't hear nothing from him for years, and now all of a sudden, Putin, right?
Mm-hmm.
As much disinformation as they've pumped into us, how much disinformation has been pumped from our own government into us, describing a life in Russia that may or may not even be true. I've never fucking been to Russia, dude. Have you?
Me neither. But one thing I do know about Russia? It's predominantly populous by Orthodox religious people. That is are a lot more conservative in general, the percentage of the populace per capita than us. I also believe that propaganda has been strong in Russia since before any world wars, right? They did it with their fucking princes.
Yeah, that's how they got a lot of that shit around before that massacre.
Mm-hmm. So people are going to present what they want to shore up whatever facts that they're trying to get you to think, right? And this is along the same point that I can't ever try to get across. But the fact that there is someone on the screen trying to explain to you how the world works should make you question what they're getting out of it, right? If they've got a narrative, then a lot of times there's a reason for that narrative. That narrative is providing them usually with some money, something along those lines, right? Whether it's sponsors, whether it's appearances, whatever the case is. But people try to do things out of the good of their heart. I think Jon Stewart did that with the 9/11 firefighters and the VA stuff that he's been involved in. I think that's just him trying to be a good person, right?
I think he has ulterior motives.
Yeah?
No, I don't.
He's trying to get in. He's trying to get in somewhere. But
just saying, I don't know anything more about him than I know about Elon Musk for real. But you get a feeling, right? You got this feeling about him that because from how you deal with people and what feelings you get from people, how to read them. Well, I don't know how much better or worse than me you are at that, but
right.
You know what I mean now. You just used the exact same example.
Well, the thing is, like, what is he gaining, right? Like, he's not gaining more notoriety by that, right?
Yeah,
he's already established.
He is.
He's gaining, perhaps people in those industries are like, this is my guy. I haven't seen him say anything about running for office seriously.
Yeah.
So it's not like a bid for that, right?
So earlier I was saying about how you got to think differently. So what do you do when the one guy who knows the complete truth about everything gets up and let's say on TV, on the internet, however, broadcast across the world, gets up and starts telling you that truth, and then you come to find out that the whole time you've been told that this person's, an evil ruler of his country and treats his people horribly and, yada, yada, yada. How do we know? I mean, how do we...
Do you really think an ex-bad guy doesn't commit acts of atrocity? Like,
what?
Do you think him being from his history, with special forces and ties to the KGB and all that, right?
No, I'm just saying, what if he's the guy that's telling? It doesn't matter whether he's good or bad, but what if he's the guy that knows the truth and is trying to tell you the truth, and that's the reason they want him to just get the fuck out. We got to get rid of this guy one way or another. Like I said, what if he was one of they and on the outs with they, or just one? Is he on the outside looking in and wants a piece of it? He's a world leader. Why can't he have a piece of it? I'm saying, like, if you're him, why wouldn't he think that he couldn't have a piece of it? I'm on the world stage. Who the fuck are y'all? I got the biggest continent in the fucking world. Who are y'all? This is not, I am certainly not saying I'm pro-Putin, pro-Russian, anything. I'm saying, just like you said, there's all kinds of different propaganda going back and forth. We only know what we're told, man. I've never been to Russia. I've never met him. I don't know anything but what we're told. We're told the Ukrainians are so awesome. The Russians are so bad. But yet we don't know.
No, all I've been told is that Russia tried to do a major land grab in an already established country, and that's what set this off, is what I understood.
Yeah, but the motive of why he did it is the encroachment and the he's scared, dude. He's scared. He's about to lose not just his spot, but his whole people are going to lose. He's worried that his whole country is about to get fucked over. And that's what made him make the move in it. So it's kind of for him. So that's why we're proxying through Ukraine. And honestly,
I think most people need to get in that mindset.
What?
That this is it for them?
Oh, well. It's probably that way. Like who's to say? This is going to be the weirdest fucking podcast.
Right.
Starting out with like shit we normally talk about and then get off in this weird shit. Anyway, I'm probably just going to throw it up in one big lump and not even put shit in there.
Well, why don't we get some food in it?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to eat a long time ago. My wife's probably like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Anywho, hope you enjoyed that weird look into what we really want to fucking talk about sometimes. Not all the time. But yeah, I want to get political sometimes, man. I feel bottled up inside. Like I'm not talking about shit.
Well, I hate getting political.
Platform I'm going to get kicked off of.
Because it's like I was saying, you know, we're living in this extinction level event and people want to talk about fucking politics, right? It's all distraction.
Yeah, but I want to tell you what you're doing wrong. You know, that's all. I want to tell you why, what you're fucking up by listening to this person instead of this person, because I just want to point you, like, I don't have all the answers. That's not what I'm saying, but I do see big picture and can at least say, hey, you know, this is happening over here and this was happening not too long ago. Don't you think that's kind of, listen, I don't believe in coincidence. That's one thing you need to know right off the bat. Coincidences do not happen. They've never fucking happened. It's just not a thing. So if something seems coincidental to you, as you know what coincidence is, it's probably just some bad shit happening, more than likely. It's very little coincidence, man.
I think our brains are just wired that way. I think coincidences do happen, and we look, you know, we're trained to look for patterns by survival at the very least. And our brains need that and sometimes function in that way.
Well, obviously, you know, with everybody, there's different levels of ability. So I think many struggle. Many.
I think we're all obsessively filling space, whether that's in our head or on a notepad or, you know, a wall. Whatever it is, you know, it's this obsession with filling space, and that sometimes it's like, hey, this dot, why not? It makes sense, but you know, you're working with a limited pool of data, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, let's put a nail in this coffin, man, because this has been the weirdest show. I mean, it's felt right from the get-go. Yeah. So, guys, please leave like and subscribe. Maybe now the subscriptions will go up. People will be like, man, this is what I've been waiting for. This is the shit I've been wanting to see. Well, hopefully you'll see it more on Twitter. Subscribe and you'll find out. As always, guys, we thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you. Wait a minute. We won't see you because you haven't been excellent to each other yet. And then we'll see you on the flip side. All right. Peace out.